Welcome back to Retro Wednesday, the Titanium Hanger. This is Mike, and today I want to talk to you about the G1 Transformers paperwork. We're talking about the little catalog brochures that they had, the tech specs, and we're talking about the Mailaways and all that fun stuff, instructions. We're going to look through this. I'm going to quickly go through each one of these. We're just kind of reminisce and see what do you remember from all of this. But I think this is kind of fun. What really got me on this was the Omnibots and wanting to see the order form for the Omnibots so we can kind of see prices and how many points you had to mail in and some fun stuff like that. We're going to look at the Melons, Mailaways, and all that's coming up on today's Retro Wednesday. First off, I want to look at some booklets, and what you're going to see is there's like a progression from the early day where they gave it their all, and you have it with all kinds of color in it, and then they started getting cheap on them. So this is Megatron's, you can see the picture, same artwork there, and then you see what else it come with, and then the transformation, and that is pretty much what you'd expect. Step 3, getting into all these other steps and what comes with it. So a lot of fun. This says that it's got void on the 3 points there, but it does show you how you can look at your tech specs. And so that's all part of instructions. So getting into the next one, which would progressively be a sound wave here, and then you see it's still in color, and it's one of the earlier ones. And I wonder if like they did a second batch of them and they had the kind of line work looking ones that we're going to see here in a bit, but you can see everything he comes with. So this is really helpful, especially before we had all of these guides, is to just pull this out and say, what does it come with? What do you know? What does it take to be complete? As long as you get your hands on one of these, or you can just look a picture up, then it would make it easier. Then we get into another one that's still a color brochure, and then that is going to be Trailbreaker, Heroic Autobot. And it was funny because, I don't know, I never felt like I folded these back up right. Once I unfolded them, I was like, how did it fold up? That would be fun there. So you can see what all Trailbreaker actually came with. You can see the actual product in this one. You can see what a sticker sheet looks like. So this is what a lot of people probably use to research, put those guides together online. So if you go like to Figure Realm or any of those places. But there's his, how many steps was it? 5-step transformation. Those were truly the good old days. I also have a color one here of Starscream. And so we can kind of look at the Starscream. What did he come with? And yeah, for some reason I always thought he came with 3 of these missiles, but he only comes with 1 of, yeah. Okay, there we go. There's his transformation and that fun stuff. Then looking at this. So there is Starscream. He is a 5-step transformer also. And then they're showing you how to use tech specs and to Mailaway. All right, here we go with Thundercracker and same old stuff, but we'll just take a quick look at him. Same as Starscream, I'm guessing. Everything should be about the same. Looking at this also, pretty much everything about the same. Now we get into some of these instruction booklets that have kind of line artwork, and so then we see the progression to where it's all just pictures. It's drawings, which I don't know. Was it cheaper to do it this way? You didn't have to take a picture. Is it have something to do with the production process? He's a 5-step changer also, but that to me feels like they're just cheaping out when they do this. Who is this one? This is a jump starter top spin. So I'm going to be going out of order here. I've never put any of these in order, but yeah, that's kind of fun. See how fast we can go through all of these. Shows the action. It is a 4-step changer because you have to plug in the gun, I guess. So I thought it was jump starters were a 1-step changer. That's what I was thinking. But Hound, I missed out on the Hound here. So here's the Hound, which it's still back in the old school style. Loving it, loving it, loving it. And there's that. And he is a 5-step changer also. So I'm going to try to speed this up and open them all up and just show them quickly.
Everywhere, Transformers the movie. It's over, Prime. Does Prime die? Transformers the movie, rated PG, now playing everywhere. Don't
accelerate this process and move through it a little quicker, but here is the Optimus Prime, which I think is one that everybody would like to see. It's mixed into all of that. I thought I had all of the ones that were color set aside because they look so good and striking and popping. But we already looked at this in the KO one not too long ago. But let's quickly look through these so we can get into the other ones. Here is a hot rod, and that's what he looks like in his instructions. And then we've got a thrust, and then we've got my favorite, which is Jetfire. Jetfire. How many steps is Jetfire? He is an 8-step transformer, which is surprising. I thought he'd be more than that. Here is Grimlock, which I think would be like one of everyone's favorite. And I'm surprised Grimlock didn't have, because he's a pretty early one, right? Surprised he didn't have all this. We're about to see how early these figures were. Then we have something I would figure we look at an Insecticon here. So we do have Insecticon Kickback. That looks like fun. He has fun. It's a fun figure. That's a pretty good figure. One of the better in the G1s. Here is Sludge. All the stuff he comes with. And so I do want to show a couple things that are interesting with all of this. One thing is, look how ridiculously long Astro Trains is. Because he's a triple changer. This is just long. It just keeps going. And then you flip it over to how many steps. Well, it doesn't really show all the steps, but yeah, so because he's a triple changer, obviously he has like twice, it should be 3 times, no, twice as much instructions going on right there. Deluxe Insecticon Venom, I think everybody wants to see that in Masterpiece scale. Anyway, did they already make that in Masterpiece? Is that a different one? But I want to show Action Masters here. So we get into Action Masters and they kind of, here's this. So it's going a little different because now the instructions open up like we see with catalogs. And so it's kind of cool. I don't even know I've got this guy. I thought I had this one, but I don't think I do. Action Master Turbo Cycle with Prowl. And then yet another Action Master right here. So that's kind of crazy. So opens the same way. That's how that works. So let's get into looking at the catalogs.
The Transformers from Hasbro.
So I'm going to try to keep these catalogs in order as best I can. And so this is what the cover looks like, front and then the back if it's folded up. And then we have this. So this is the first one that you get. Not the most common, but I have a few of them, and I picked the ones in the best shape. And I also want to take some pictures of these so I can kind of have more control over my picture usage here. And so there's Megatron and all that. So what are like 19 or something, 20 something figures on this catalog. So this is what people talk about when they talk about the season 1. This is the poster that we all know too well and love so much. But this, when people say I want season 1 and then season 1 and season 2, well, this is the season 1 for sure right here. And so then we get into the next one. So the next progression would be into this one here. And so it went into a much bigger, and they started going into this square. So it was like rectangular at first, now it's folded into a big square, and then it is actually quite big. We're, I guess, going to start off with some artwork here, and then get into looking at Decepticons. So this is where we introduce the Deluxe Insecticons. We introduce some Devastator into the mix here. And we carry over Soundwave, we have Shockwave, the cassettes are still there, and then we have the Triple Changers, Seekers added, the Coneheads to that. Let's get this where it's not too glaring and bright, and then of course the Insecticons. So it's looking pretty good, just adding, it's like progression. Let's look at the good guys. So in the first one, there wasn't enough to do 2 sides, so adding some more stuff in there. Maybe this next one I show you is actually the second one. This might be the third one. I might be going out of order. Thought I had them chronological, but now I'm realizing I probably don't. But because there's Jetfire in there, and then there's, so some of these things you're going to see when we get to the next one are in the next one, so they just have the exact same picture. And so we're going to move into this next one here, and some of the pictures are exactly the same. Or maybe this is just the exact same thing just blown up. No, it's different. So we have this, so it's like black, and it has the jump starters in it. So we can see that we have this, which is a picture that was in this other catalog, and then this actually is a promo prototype, or is this from a different country? Because that looks way different. Well, it looks the same as it does in the other picture, but it always looks way different than my official Perceptor. So some of this stuff is still the same as the other one. And then we get into the Minibots, picture's the same, Optimus Prime's picture's the same. And Jetfire's picture's the same. So let's see what they have different on the back. So they added jump starters. And, oh, this picture is just way bigger. This is blown up. So not a whole lot different to the back. Just kind of blown up. Yeah, made it bigger. Still kind of fun to see. Wow. It's pretty much the same brochure. So.
Introducing Blaster. He looks like an innocent radio, but transformed, he's a powerful Autobot communicator.
Optimus Prime is Blaster! Watch out for Mailaway!
We're going to get into this one here. So it's kind of got a little more of a digitized print to it. And so I tried to pick the one that I thought looked best folded up. To leave folded up, I only have two. They're not in the greatest shape. And then I've got this one here, and evidently someone pinned it up or taped it up or something. So this is where you start seeing some of the later ones. We've got the Headmasters, we've got Fort Max, and then we've got all of these in here, the Monster Bots, and then we've got City Commander, we've got good old Ultra Magnus, we've got the Twins and the Twins more or less, and then some Autobot cassettes. So it kind of gets kind of fun getting to see the progression here. The Autobot Headmasters. That's always fun. And you know, looking at these, I have I'm going to use these for my Friday video. I'm going to use all these resources for my Friday video because I have something special and fun, and of course it's going to be a little bit controversial, just a little bit, not a lot, a little controversial. But then we're going to flip this around. So these resources are going to help me. There's a 6-shot looking good. And then we've got the Terrorcons and Combaticons. So more of the combiners into this. Let's get this. Now there's the Decepticon twins right there. And then, as we can see, we just recently got our Lupus for Fans Toys reissue. That was nice. We've got Tripticon up there. And so movie. So we got the movie bad guys, baddies up here. And some of the other ones that we don't see much of. These Cyclonus get some love, but the rest of these... Scourge gets some love, the rest don't get much love. This one here's getting a little bit, but looking down here, we've got the Predaking. So yeah, there's this one here. This one's got a lot. As you progress, you got more and more and more stuff. So let's look at the next one. Here's another one I didn't have very many of. So here's it's really tattered and beaten, but this is what the cover looks like, more or less. So getting into it, this is where you start getting into some I guess you could say Power Masters, so a little bit later. And this is when it gets a little bit off the wheels, off the chain, off the rails. So we've got in here, we've got these guys right here, Trigger Action. I don't have all of those, and I don't think I ever will. This one here, so I didn't even know about this one. I loved my 6-shot, and I think I would have loved this guy here too, because he was a 6-changer along with 6-shot. As a kid, I loved 6-shot, so I would have loved to have had that also, but maybe it came out a little later or something. Here's something else. We got some of these. Is this a Pretender Beasts? So I don't have any of that. I don't have any of the Pretender Beasts. And then we've got the Monster Bots kind of carried over. We've got the Autobot Twins. And then we've got in here, what are these? Spark Bots. I think I got one of those. It's not something I really went after. So then we get in here to Autobot cassettes. Now, this is when they started making deluxe Autobot cassettes with a slam dance or whatever like that, where they can combine, which is really cool. That actually is cool. I don't care what anyone says. That's cool. Then we get into Power Master Autobots, Target Master Autobots, the small Target Master ones, the lower price point ones. And then I do like, this is probably my second favorite combiner. Well, I don't know, Devastator's up there. But Superion and I think the Technobots just kind of feel very similar to a Superion, just in my mindset, my headcanon. Getting over here with these more Headmaster Autobots. And we are seeing Generation Toy do some of those, I think. And then we're getting into Autobot Pretenders. And then we've got the large Headmaster Autobots, which was the main cast, which Make Toys is finishing up. Fans Toys is starting to work on those. That's kind of fun to get masterpiece representations. Getting to the back here, we have got some fun stuff here with the Decepticons, the baddies of the baddies. And so we've got Target Master Decepticons right here. We've got the Seacons, we've already seen that. We've got Terrorcons, which I had a lot of fun with those when I was a kid. 6-shot, one of my favorites. Then we've got the Decepticon Headmasters, Twins. Let's see, trying to look at some new stuff that we haven't seen yet. Some of this stuff. So obviously the Pretenders we haven't seen on this just yet. We have the Trigger Cons, those guys. Haven't seen much of that on any of these fire cons. So now we're getting into stuff that I really don't remember. I don't remember. We don't hear anyone talking about. Do you hear anyone talking about fire cons and sparkers? Do you hear anyone talking about trigger cons? I don't hear anyone talking about that at all. Then we get into Power Master Decepticons, and then let's see, Pretender Beasts, Pretender Vehicle, and then Horror Cons. So yeah, that kind of ends it. This ends the segment for these. I do want to show kind of the artwork has changed as time went on, and this is when they started losing a lot of collectors or kids.
Chucky on Ricka transforms from motorcycle to robot, and Triple Changer Springer transforms from car to helicopter to robot.
I'm going to move through some mailaways real fast, and so I think I want to start with what I think is the smallest one. So we've got Reflector here, and so you open it up. Now this is really how they came. Tiny. This one was tiny, and if I can get the camera to pick all that up, you can see it was $10 plus 2 points. And then there's the picture of it, and let's see. It says words and things. Anyway, that is cool. That is awesome. Definitely need to get a picture of that. And then here's the back of it, so you can put all your information in. Hopefully I don't have, okay, one that's already filled out. Nope, it's not filled out. Good. It would have been a waste to fill it out, not mail it out, not get your reflector. It seems like, here's the other thing. I think that most of this stuff, I think you're able to get most of these things for still like $5 on eBay. So this is a Mailaway that I don't remember ever seeing. Autobots are under attack. And I wish I had the Joe Mailaways because those were fun. But I think every kid mailed some away for something G.I. Joe. So you're able to get Sunstreaker for 8 plus 2 points. Ratchet was $8. Cosmos was $3.50. So all of these three were $3.50. Cliff Jumper, which does not look like Bumble Jumper, not Cliff Jumper. It looks like one of the different ones, Warpath. Maybe that's how you got the Bumble Jumper. Maybe they sent the production errors out. Then we've got Megatron, who was $21.50 plus 5 points. I mean, that's not a small price in the 80s. That converts now to what? 6,900. I don't know. Prepare yourself with Battle Century. Thundercracker was $10 plus 2 points. Reflector is $10. Yeah, we already saw that. And then, it just surprised me. You got the Mailaway for a Wheeljack for $8 and a Mirage for $8. So that was kind of interesting. This shocked me to even see this because I never saw it. Yeah, my fault for not looking through this stuff. 20 years of having it. So anyway, this one is the one I was looking for. I wanted to find. It's got Power Dashers, and it's got the Omnibots, and you got a watch. So Power Dasher was just the one Power Dasher was $3. So I guess you had to mail them off separately, and then to get the Omnibots, let's see here, 4 points and $5. So it's $5 per Omnibot, $10 for the watch, and of course here's how you get the pricing off of this sheet right here. So, but the picture is what I really wanted the most. So really excited because X-Transloss is making all those, and I'm happy with the first one. So I'm definitely going to be happy with the rest. So excited about that, and excited to find the paperwork on it and get it all compiled. Now here's another one. So this one here, have the Decepticons defeat us once and for all? No, they have not. Look inside for special offers. So this one opens up, and then you see all of this that's on it. You see like an airplane, a jet. Nope, it's not a GoBot. Then it opens up some more, and it says, send the Autobots racing to the rescue. And so as you can see in here, you can see what's coming, right? So they've added Sunstreaker to the mix, and then we're going to see what else when we open this up. I just don't really remember off the top of my head. Well, I guess you do. You just get everything that's right there. And same price. So they're getting rid of extra stock, and it was a smart way to do it. And when you're a kid and you don't have internet, you don't have eBay, you don't have all that stuff, and you missed it in the store, and getting a chance to mail away for it like this meant the world to a kid. I mean, it meant the world to me. That's how I got I got my AWE striker that way, and I got a couple other things that way. And for G.I. Joe, I mailed off for a lot of Joe. I did get of course, my Omnibots, though. So that's why I kind of have a soft spot for Omnibots. But yeah, there's the rest of that one. Fold it back up all nice and neat. And then Then we have this one, which is another one I haven't seen, and this one's really rough shape, but I'm going to show it anyway. Rodimus Prime remembers the Transformers' greatest battles on Earth by selling you old stuff. And there's an Optimus Prime. You could just mail away for an Optimus Prime for $21.50, and then you can mail away for Megatron for $21.50, and then you open this up and join the Stars, the Autobot Rescue Squad, and help rid the world of evil Decepticons. So, Thundercracker, they're trying to get rid of all this. So, $10 for Seekers. Seekers are expensive, huh? Seekers are expensive. No wonder people pay big money for Seekers these days. They were expensive back in the day, so we were we were already taught. And it's got a nice artwork here, so this looks like a nice scene from the cartoon, but you actually have the lesser good-looking toys that didn't look as good as the cartoon in a cartoon environment. That was kind of cool. And then here we go. Wheeljack is $8, $8, $8, $8, $3.50 for these. We've kind of seen all that. It's just slightly different. And there is the order form. If you remember filling that out, all the fun and excitement, you probably could barely contain yourself to mail that to Hasbro in North Hollywood, California. That's fun.
It's Devastator, 6 Constructicons in 1. The Transformers. Devastator's a
The Transformers, sold separately from
So real quick, I'm going to open these up. I have 2 more bonus content brochures, and so this is definitely later in. We have the Pretender Monsters, and then we have more of these Ultra Pretenders, Optimus Prime, Power Master. Then we have this is almost all Pretenders going on right here. So I guess on the back it's going to be Micromaster Station. Well, that's all the Micromaster stuff. That's crazy. And then here we go, more Micromasters. There's a lot of Micromasters to keep up with. I've got some of this stuff, but none of my stuff's complete. And with that, I'm probably not going to ever complete it. But it's kind of cool to have a little bit of it. Just kind of have an idea of scale and how it went back then. And this one is just kind of like a reprint of one we've already seen. But it's different. It looks different. So we're going to show it real quick. Just to kind of show all this fun stuff. And I think I'm sure this is going to bring back memories. I mean, I don't remember seeing a Sharkcon on any of the other ones in the past, and I don't remember seeing Octane on any of the other ones in the past. This is just, it's fun. I have fun. We looked at this, well, I know I looked at these for hours when I was a kid, and then I would stop and drop everything and look at them again. So here we are looking at them again 40 years later.
The base has twin towers and ramps to launch cars. Transform! And now it's a beast with capture claws and a trainer who becomes Transform! The head of its robot.
So next up we're going to take a look at the tech specs. Tech specs of course come with these decoders, and so what you do, we all know the routine where you put it up here and then well, it's not showing up on the screen very well, but you can kind of see what their speed, strength, speed, intelligence, endurance, rank, courage, firepower, and skill were. So here is a Sludge, here is an Insecticon Barrage, here is Soundwave. I think y'all might have heard of Soundwave. That one shows up pretty well for the most part. Anyway, we're not going to be using the decoder on all of them, but just have a look here. We got a Venom, we've got a Devastator. One of the things about these is the fact you had to cut your box up to get them. And so kind of the same thing with Joe's. Joe's has the file cards. These have the tech specs. And there's just a small picture of them. Kids would cut these out and save them. And it's just kind of fun to see what all I've come across over the years. But Shrapnel, another Soundwave. Fun stuff in here. It's a Headstrong and a Point Blank. Speaking of, we got a Point Blank going on here. That's a kind of a recent masterpiece figure that we have gotten. There's a Red Alert and a Hot Rod, and then we got Dive Bomb, Silverbolt. Oddly enough, Silverbolt as a leader doesn't have some great tech specs. His tech specs aren't all that great, if that shows up at all on there. And then what else we got going on in here? We got some fun stuff to look at. We got a Hound. So, you know, some of these people really did do a good job of keeping a lot of their stuff. Rampage. And then Galvatron. This should be off the chart for Galvatron, right? Wackadoodle. Does he have a wackadoodle meter? Crazy meter. Thrust. What's a Seeker end up with? Kind of low. Yeah, kind of low. Kind of weak. Seekers aren't really that strong. And then you'd think Magnus would be kind of high, but yeah, he's middle of the range. Middle of the road. What about Perceptor? Funny with the picture and everything. Perceptor still looks, with the picture, it looks like that drawing that doesn't match the toy at all. So, I do want to point out here, and I missed this in the instructions though, that the instructions for the Constructicons were different than any other instruction. It's just this white piece of paper here, and yeah, forgot that in the instruction section, but because it doesn't look like instructions, it's so strange. So, what are the specs on old Megatron here, Megs? And you can barely see it in the real world here, but it's pretty high. Everything's pretty high. Intelligence, is he smart? Because his plans never work. But here we go, the bombshell, and then let's see what's going on with Trailbreaker. It's gonna be curious in editing to see how well this shows up, because it doesn't look like it's showing up on my camera at all. But Prime off the charts. See, 10 and everything. I think he's straight 10s, right? Can't really tell. I couldn't tell in real world looking at that, but here we go with Wind Charger. And so, yeah, there's tech specs. It's a lot of fun. Did you keep yours when you were a kid? So I hope y'all had some fun looking at the G1 paperwork here, and this was kind of a blast of the past, and I had a lot of fun going through it, setting up for the video and looking at this. Gonna take some pictures of these, and I hope it brought back some memories for you, and you're able to say, hey, I haven't seen that in a long time. But let me know in the comments below. Like and subscribe, and Titanium Hanger out.
The Transformers, sold separately from Hasbro. The Transformers. Each Headmaster Autobot displays a readout of its power. Nothing's better than going to battle with Headmaster Transformers.